President Trump saying 3 narco-terrorists are dead after the U.S. military conducts a second strike on Venezuelan drug boats in international waters.
We have proof. All you have to do is look at the cargo that was like it's spattered all over the ocean. Big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place. But we have noticed that there are no ships in the ocean anymore. We're seeing that there's like no ships, when the first one we went, there were hundreds of boats. Now there are no boats. I wonder why.
Joining me now is the president of the Oversight Project and is a visiting fellow in the Border Security and Immigration Center at the Heritage Foundation, Mike Howell. Mike, great to have you back on the program. Look, let's be realistic. Not much else in our history has worked to stop the poisoning of our country through drugs. And to the president's point, if I'm a narco-terrorist and I see not one but 2 of my fellow narco-terrorists get blown out of the water, I might think twice about being a narco-terrorist. Thoughts?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the only language that the cartels speak. It's power and it's force. And I'm glad we finally have a president who understands that and a secretary of state who does as well. I mean, this is going to become, I think, the norm if they continue to even try this stuff, that under the president's broad authorities to, combat imminent threats to the United States, which include drugs that have poisoned hundreds of thousands of Americans to death, he will take you out. That is the message that has been sent.
Why wasn't this done before in both Republican and Democrat administrations? Because, we've had the technology to take out a little dinghy in the ocean. Why did it take Donald J. Trump to be the first president to say this ends, and this ends now?
Yeah, I think the establishment here in Washington, D.C. has used the massive kind of resources and authorities that have come, in the post 9/11 war for their own foreign interventionism, as opposed to protecting the United States in our own backyard. And so you have an administration that understands that it is their mandate to protect, American first interest. And the thing that is hurting our people like the most right now is the flooding of our communities with fentanyl that have accompanied the illegal migration waves that have been ushered in by the Biden administration and in some aspects condoned by some elements on the right. And so this is a different administration that is using these very strong authorities for the purposes they told all Americans they were going to do going into this election. So it's keeping the promises that were made.
15 seconds to you, Mike. How do you expect the narco-terrorists to adapt?
Yeah, well, the scary thing is the boats aren't their only technique, right? They've made massive strides in kind of their use of drones, not only to transport drugs across the border, but to attack each other south of it. And they're going to find a way. This is a massive cat and mouse game, but the president's playing it for keeps.
Mike Howell, a pleasure to always have you on. You're always such good answers, such quick answers, and such insightful answers. You get it all in, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.